Now, just a little warning before we begin that there will be some major spoilers in this video for Morbius, so if you haven't seen it, don't want anything ruined, it is a really good time to click away.
You mean the other Batman?
That's a spoiler, right?
I think everyone knows vampires are bats and stuff.
Probably, yes. And as usual, we have not discussed the movie at all. We see it in the theater, we come home, very quiet trip home, and sit in front of the microphone and discuss. So tell me...
Hey, I take notes first.
You did this time, I sometimes do.
You like never do.
I wouldn't say never. Never say never.
I usually have a little pad with some key points that I wanted to talk about.
Never say never. All right, well, okay, what did you think of Morbius?
Wow.
And that's the review. No, seriously. I mean, I think you were serious, but elaborate, I suppose.
There were a few things I liked, but for the most part, I was not happy. Which makes me sad because I hate going to a movie and then finding out that I wasn't thrilled. Spent money on this, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like to
so
spend
did they,
money
apparently,
to go to
I
the
think.
theater just to be like, oh.
I think they spent money making this too,
Oh.
right? This was pretty bad, actually.
Yeah.
I hate to say it because I like Jared Leto. I like Matt Smith.
I love Matt Smith.
Yeah, I mean, great in Doctor Who.
Epic in Doctor Who.
I think the problem here, if I can just sum it up as quickly as possible, is I didn't care. None of the characters were likable. I didn't care about Morbius. I didn't care. And it's not that there isn't a story there at all.
I think that's what was missing was the plot as well as motivation.
Well, there is a story there. I mean, it's about as basic as you can get. But it is there. There is an attempt at a story, but never do you actually really care about Morbius. And I mean, part of the problem, he is a villain. He is supposed to be a Spider-Man villain. This is not a...
He's kind of one of those misunderstood villains, though, Spider-Man.
What villain isn't misunderstood?
Because,
Come on
you
now.
know, he didn't mean to turn himself into this, and he can't control the hunger.
Yeah, sure. And I can't control how bad the movie was. Now, I mean, I would say the problem with this, and this is in the same Venom-verse, we'll call it,
It's definitely in the Venom-verse.
even though we now know it's a Spider-Verse, because we get Spider-Man name dropped at the very end in the post-credit scene.
Ugh.
So that means that this is a Spider-Verse of some degree.
Of course, it's got the Daily Bugle.
Yeah, I know.
It had to be Spider-Verse because we had Eddie Brock.
That doesn't have to be a Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be.
Have to be, yeah. Because
But-
Venom made it.
Speaking of Eddie Brock and Venom, the big difference between Venom, which is a ridiculous movie. I mean, let's call it as it is. It's a ridiculous plot, everything. It's over the top. But it's fun, and you like Eddie Brock and Venom.
Yeah, they're very likable.
You don't really like Morbius here.
Morbius and his alter ego, ugly vampire face.
Yes, that's a great name for him, ugly vampire
Oh my
face.
god, it's horrible. It's horrible.
I feel
but
like-
you notice throughout the movies, but the more they wanted you to like him, the better they made his face look.
Yes, and I like that he does kill people he kills like the 8 mercenaries, but even the cops are like, they were mercenaries.
Who cares?
Nobody's gonna miss those guys.
But he's a doctor. He took the oath of do no harm, one would assume.
Well, yeah.
They're just
Hippocratic oath,
mercenaries.
yeah.
We can harm them, though.
Yeah. So,
He looks so bad. But like I said, by the end of the movie, and like the last scene you get of him, his face doesn't look nearly as snarly and angry and out of control because they did that on purpose to be like, look, see?
He's getting better.
He's a good guy now.
But then in the post-credits scene, it's like, let's go kill Spider-Man because reasons.
He didn't say let's kill Spider-Man.
He looked intrigued.
No, he never said let's kill Spider-Man. He said we
got a Spider-Man
we
problem?
can do
I don't
some
remember.
good.
Yeah,
No, he says,
us teaming up. Yeah.
No, he said he thinks he was brought here because of Spider-Man. We should team up and we can probably do a lot of good together or something like
good.
that.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah.
Well, which of course
Sinister.
tricks Morbius because he's like, yeah, I
No,
can do good. I'm a
he knows.
hero.
If you're opposed to Spider-Man, you're not a good guy. Come on now. It's that simple. He's here. He's somewhere.
We
Is it Andrew Garfield? Is it a new Spider-Man? Because, I mean, you got the Spider-Verse already, right? Why not just throw some new ones in there? Maybe it's the pig version. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the pig version.
Why not at this point?
Ugh. And he never should have been brought in there in the first place. The spell that was supposed to have worked so perfectly
the other
only
way.
moved people.
Hey, it went the other way too. He screwed it up. People were going wrong universes. Somehow,
He's the only one.
somehow the Vulture is in our universe. That's all you need to know.
No, and definitely don't Star Wars reference that.
Well,
Too late. Let's talk about Matt Smith's character Lucian. Great vampire name.
Yeah.
But they had to do the Peter Parker dance in the middle of this. Oh,
You
look,
didn't
it's
like
Spider-Man
that?
3. He did his little dance.
Come on, he
with
worked-
his scary face, and I
I'm
was
sure
like, oh.
he worked out
I'm
like
glad
a
that I'm not
beast.
on video because that looked ridiculous.
I'm sure Matt Smith had to work out for months, and he looked like a beast. He was taking his shirt off. He was going to get his scene in there. You know that.
Even Matt Smith did an interview that said he had no idea what the motivation for his character was.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I barely
Because
did
he
either.
got beat up once as a kid.
He felt, I wrote that on my paper. It says
Yeah.
motivation with like 3
See?
question marks.
I don't need to
Felt
take
jaded
notes.
because of how his life is, question mark. No, probably just because he got beat up as a kid.
Yeah, it's so simple you don't need to take notes. Like there's about five things. You remember those 5 things, and that's the whole story. One of them is, getting beat up as a kid. His little love letter from Jared Leto got stolen.
Yeah.
And so
Oh my gosh. Was that a love story between the 2 of them?
I could be. I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh my, no, it could have been.
Why do we go
He
there?
loved him.
We don't have to go there.
And they had to kill the girl because she was taking it.
Oh,
Look,
okay.
we're giving it plot that it didn't have in the
I mean,
first place.
not that it can't go there. I don't really
I think
care
that
either
would've been
way,
a great
but
plot.
I guess it could
He
have.
even told her earlier. He's like, "Don't fall in love with her."
All right, maybe you hit it.
Oh my gosh, Matt Smith
All right,
was
my
in
bad.
love with him. Aw, and then they were both vampire bros. This is why I don't get on the main channel, right?
No, this is. I have no response to that
Because you're thinking it's true.
because you just made up a gay vampire story, which again I have no problem with that. But
I think that would have really worked in this movie. It would have shown me a little bit more motivation as to
actually,
why
you know what I
things
think about
happened.
it? The movie makes more sense if Matt Smith is gay for Jared Leto.
It's a perfect little love story.
It
He
actually
thought his-
that actually brings it all. That is the glue that is missing. Now
There's
that I
the
think about it.
motivation.
It makes sense. I mean, does it make nothing else makes sense? So why not, right?
As for the I'm gonna call them the effects of the movie, I didn't like them.
You mean when he's flying around? And
Well, they did this cool little
echolocation?
smoky look for everything. Look, I
Yeah.
can fly. Smoky vapors. Look, I'm running real fast. Smoky vapors. Look, I'm using my echolocation. Smoky vapors. Oh, look, I can hear real well.
Smoky vapors.
Smoky vapors.
I got it already.
Look, I'm not currently using vampire powers.
Smoky vapors.
But Matt Smith punched me, and he was in vampire form, so I have smoky vapors.
And then
What?
slow it down so you can get the dramatic effect.
Bullet time.
Bullet time, yes.
Bullet time.
With smoky vapors.
Smoky vapors.
They need to rename this movie Bullet Time with Smoky Vapors.
Yes. And a beautiful vampire love story.
And a beautiful vampire love story that neither one sparked. I was, when Jared Leto, I guess I could call him Morbius. I don't know why I keep calling by the actor names.
Morbius
but
and Milo.
when Morbius put his hand in the sun, that thing sort of sparkled.
You named me.
Oh. Why did you say that name? Because you made it up for me?
Oh.
Oh, my goodness.
This is all so much better once you throw in a vampire
It
love
actually is,
story.
but I'm going to be completely honest. The movie would make more sense
There'd at least
if it
be
was
a little bit more to the motivations and stuff.
Yeah, I'm being serious. Like that would make the movie better in this case if
They needed
Lucius
to
was
better
in love with him.
define motivations in this movie. Is a main problem I saw. We didn't really understand how jaded and upset Lucian felt because he does seem to have a lot of money.
He's
And
funding
yes,
the research.
He's funding the research, and he wants a normal life. And I'm not saying he's not entitled to a cure if it was out there, but he's so hasty to discount his best friend, his fellow Spartan, his one and only.
Yeah.
I just missed the plots that were supposed to be in this. And then Morbius gives himself up so quick, and my dependency on blood. Well, isn't he still going to have this problem going forward
Yes.
after the movie ends into the future?
Yes.
If there's a future for him?
I think there might be. I don't know. I don't know how well this movie will do in the theater, or at the box office. But Venoms have done well, so they're going to want to continue the Venom verse.
Absolutely. But he's going to suffer the same problem. I mean, at this point,
You're not
his
supposed to
blue
think about
blood
it.
isn't good for him anymore. His nice artificial blood.
You're not supposed to
Red
think
blood's
about
only
that.
going to satisfy for how long? Before he goes crazy.
I wave my hand and say you're not supposed to think about that.
I'm sorry I think about stuff.
Nor are you supposed to think about why they had to
I'm
hire
going to give credit to most moviegoers and say they think about stuff too.
why did they have to hire 8 armed mercenaries to be 13 miles off the coast of Long Island? are pirates like roaming the shores of the eastern United
Because
States?
somehow those are the connections Lucian has.
I guess.
We don't know where these connections came from or why he has them in the first place.
I mean, could
And we
they
had
just...
to bring in the queen, the king of Sweden as
Yes.
well.
Well, why not?
We
Well,
know
the
you were
Nobel
there,
Prize,
charming.
Yeah, we
King
know
of Sweden.
we know the quote unquote king of Sweden.
Yes, he's in our Discord server.
Yeah, don't ask.
But another thing, I'm sick of mirror villains. Marvel, I don't like when Marvel does mirror villains, but they do them way better than Sony does. You know what I mean by mirror villain?
Yeah,
the villain
you
has the
always-
exact same powers as the hero.
Well, yeah, the same. It's like the same character,
Iron
but one
Man
goes bad,
versus
one goes
Ironmonger.
bad. Yeah. Well, I never even caught that one.
Oh,
Jeez, revolutionary there.
Ant-Man versus Yellow Jacket.
Gee, I never saw that one either.
know!
This is amazing.
Captain America versus other guy with serum, Red Skull.
Other guy was.
And then Bucky, who also was a super. They just like to have these mirror matchups, and I hate mirror matchups.
That is
They're
a
so
comic
cheesy.
trope forever. So I think you're complaining about something that's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, you have to do it right if you're going to do it. Instead, they're just like, no, they're exactly the same. But this guy,
But this guy's bad.
this
but
guy's
he
a
loves
bad
the
one.
other guy.
But he
so.
totally loves the other guy, and that's how it
That's
goes.
your story. He loves him, and he doesn't want him to possibly fall in love with someone else, so he's going to kill him instead.
And then somehow, Morbius' girlfriend is returning.
Well, the blood dripped on her lip.
Oh, she did that on purpose. She bit him.
Oh, did she bite him? See,
Oh my god!
my
you
eyes
didn't-
were closing at
she
that
bit
point. I'm
him
sorry.
because she remembered that he smelled her blood, and it drove him to
Oh,
I
that's-
need blood. So she bit him in order to make him smell blood, so he would bite her.
Yeah, I was getting a little drowsy at that point. I'm sorry.
Well, one of us watched the whole movie.
I did see the whole movie.
I don't think so.
I did. I stayed awake.
Yeah, no, and then even though she was somehow drained of blood, that one drop of blood somehow still brought her back from the dead.
Magic.
Ugh.
Even though it was very scientific. I mean,
sure.
not... Okay, so it wasn't very scientific, let's be honest. We're like splicing bat DNA into human DNA and like injecting it into mice, and somehow that creates a vampire mouse. I don't know. You're not
They
supposed
never
to
went
think
back
about
to
it.
look at that mouse afterwards and been like,
Well, he's out there.
That mouse was craving human blood. or mouse blood.
Maybe he becomes Splinter, and so we don't get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know.
That's so bad.
That's my theory.
You know what? We were cheated. Cheated, I tell you.
Out of previews?
Yeah, we walked into the movie at like 1 minute after start time.
And it was already going.
And it was like, oh, it's starting.
Even the movie wanted to get itself over with.
Shut up. I feel sorry for anyone who's listened to us this long.
No, you've been entertained. Are you not entertained? Gladiator. You've never seen Gladiator. You disappoint me.
Whatever. I've seen things
It's a
you
good
haven't
movie.
seen.
Yeah, stupid stuff.
Whatever.
I only watch good movies, and then I turn off the bad. Well, okay, so I stayed awake and watched the whole bad movie here, but it was bad. I'm sorry. I mean, I wanted to like this movie. We're not
really
trying to
wanted
rip
to
on
like
this
the
movie.
movie.
If you did like it, that's fine. This was not a very good movie. It, like I said, the big problem here, it's like Venom, but it's not funny, and it's not witty, and it's not Venom. It's Venom without being good. I'm so sorry.
Whatever. Maybe our next jaunt to the theater will be better.
It's
You know what we're seeing next, right?
Harry Potter and the
No.
Fantastic
The
Beasts
Secrets
that
of
we lost.
Dumbledore.
Yeah,
Harry
it's
Potter
the
is
same
not
thing.
involved.
Why not?
Because he isn't born?
Isn't bored or born?
Born.
Well, I know.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, The Secrets of Dumbledore.
The first one in that series I enjoyed. The second one less so.
And we get to rewatch them both before we go.
Oh boy! Yay! No, I like the Harry Potter films. I know people tell me all the time read the books. I tried to read
Because
the
you
first.
should read the books.
I
because
tried to
they're
read the first
fantastic.
one, and it's very childish. And this comes from somebody who reads a lot of kids' books in Star Wars, so I should be used to it. But for whatever reason, I didn't get through the first
I
one.
think he needs to try it again.
Perhaps I will try.
I think you should try.
Okay. I think we're just rambling. We're not even talking about Morbius anymore, are we?
That's because we're done talking about their romance, so I'm done.
Their romance, which is not acknowledged, is the best part of the film. It would make the movie better.
It would make the movie better. It would
that's
at
my
least
summary.
improve parts of the
It would
movie.
at least give a motivation other than one time as a kid somebody picked on him.
And he's got a crippling, life-ending disease.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're Spartans.
He somehow lived really long with this disease, just like his good old friend.
Yeah.
Otis.
He did it because someday they were going to cure each other and they were going to fall in love and happy ever after.
It was a beautiful movie.
Could have been.
Could have been.
Could have been.
How many hammers is the hammer scale?
Oh, I think it's 1 to 5, isn't it? Or is it 0 to 5? We really need to...
No, it's out of 10.
Is it out? Yeah, it is out of
it's
10.
out of 10.
I don't even know anymore. Hammers. Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
hammers.
What's the minimum? Is it 1 to 10 or is it 0 to 10?
You can give it 0.
I'm not going to give it 0. No, it's a beautiful love story, so...
It's a beautiful love story that they didn't tell you was happening.
It's a beautiful love story that you have to just assume
I like
it's a
that
beautiful
I'm
love story.
improving the rating by adding things.
You actually, I think you gave it an extra hammer. I'm going to give it 4 hammers because of the love story. Big 4 hammers. It would have been 3, but I'm giving it 4 because of the love story.
I'm going to give it 3.5 because I did have to watch.
You did have to watch it?
No. Because I had to
points?
have like post-traumatic stress over the Spider-Man, how he did the emo dance in the 3rd movie, and I've got to relive it all watching Matt Smith.
See, my mind didn't go there. My mind just went Matt Smith. Like I said, he probably worked out for a few months. Got ripped a little.
No, he always looks that way.
He does not always look that way.
Does in my mind.
Jeez. Matt Smith, his character has no interest in you, so sorry. His heart only goes one way. From Morbius.
Matt Smith is a big heart. With that, I think this video is over. I'm sorry.
I'm not even going to do an outro. We're done.
I'm sorry,
Thanks for watching.
Comment. Let's talk some Morbius.